Oh, hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hello, Ayana.
Oh, hi. Did I interrupt your bird watching?
You're good. You're good. There's nothing. It's dark outside. You're completely fine. Bird Gang is in the comments. I saw y'all. What's up, everyone?
Yay! So how you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm much rather be doing this than watching the Trump rally. So this
There you go.
Light to be hanging out with you.
Likewise, as always.
So, tell the people who you are.
What's up, everyone? My name is Jason Ward. I am a bird nerd. I'm a birder. I'm a science communicator, and I'm also the host of the best birding show that ever existed called Birds of North America.
Yeah.
It's also the only birding show to ever exist, so I think we win by default. But still.
If you follow Jason on Twitter, his pinned tweet will link you to watch the show. Yes, for those concerned, my smoothie is now defrosted, so I can make it through the next few minutes. I was supposed to be changing my glasses for you.
There we go.
There's one more pair now. Oh, here they are. Last ones. I'm out of glasses after this.
Nice. I love them.
Keeping it fresh and clean for the last chat here. So Birds of North America, tell us what the vibe of this show is. Get everyone who hasn't seen it excited about it.
Absolutely. So birding. What in the world is birding, right? Birding is simple. It's the act of going out and observing birds in their natural spaces. Birding is a lot of things. Birding is a lot of fun. It's basically a scavenger hunt, right? It's Pokemon Go, but with real animals. It's hunting without the gore. It's all of those things. It's therapeutic. It's exciting. But up until this point, birders were the only people who were aware of this. So we're bringing all of that energy and all of that, the calmness and tranquility of birding, and we're delivering it in a beautiful package for everyone out there to go and watch. We have 2 seasons and 20 total episodes. And each episode, we're bringing you great birds, great conversation with great people. And it's as simple as that.
It's such a joy. And I watched a few with my mom, and we enjoyed them together. It is wholesome, but yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Are you going to make some new episodes? What are you thinking?
There's some cooks in the kitchen right now. We may have something new on the way. Can't release too much, but yes, for those in the comments, you can watch all of the episodes on YouTube. It's like the perfect thing to do during quarantine. You can just binge watch all of the episodes. They're about 8 minutes on average, and it's the perfect binge watch activity.
Perfect. So one of the things you've been doing lately, in fact, my favorite ever Instagram live that I've watched, I will admit I've only watched 4 of them, but was the best. You and your brother were up on the top half here, and you were sort of chatting with all these different bird nerds and other Black scientists. You sort of, a bunch of folks came together to create Black Birders Week.
Yes.
So tell us about how that came to be and how that arose out of where we are in this moment.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure by now everyone has seen the footage of the dog walker in Central Park who had that confrontation with the Black birder. His name is Christian Cooper. Well, that got a lot of people upset, right? Because of the obvious and blatant racism that was prevalent there. I had created a GroupMe, so a group of about 100 Black scientists to kind of gather together and just vent and just be ourselves. This group has been active for over a year now. And upon watching that clip, we decided it was time to do something. We decided it was time to take action. And we put our collective heads together and came up with Black Birders Week. We literally put this together within about 48 hours, maybe even less than that. And the brilliant people in the group put together graphics and an itinerary of events. And we launched it on Friday, May 29th, and it ran until June 5th. And it was way more popular than any of us ever thought it would be.
Great. And I think in this moment where we're just completely bombarded with trauma of police murdering Black people on repeat, to see a bunch of Black folks just nerding out about birds and wildlife was exactly the medicine the world needed. And actually, that's why I wanted to end tonight's living room hangout session by talking to you, because I think so often we know, most of the Black people I know have justice work as a core of the work that they do. And it's just such a bummer because, as we've discussed over the course of the night, like, they would instead be artists or in venture capital or, you know, international diplomats and all these other things. And so I always love a show, a way to showcase that, like, Black people don't only care about race, they also care about birds and fish and all this other stuff, that, like, there are all of these layers of your identity. And so Blackbirders Week, look through the hashtag. There's some amazing stuff there. And tell us, like, how did that go? What did you learn from that?
I learned that. So first of all, everyone follow Black AF in STEM. That is the collective of individuals who helped launch that. So follow them, give them a shout out. It went, you know, as I mentioned earlier, it went way better than any of us expected, right? We were all inundated with press requests, right? And podcast interviews. And basically what we learned is that there are countless individuals who look like we do, who are just looking to find their flock, just looking to find other people out there who look like they do. In a world where we turn on some of the more prevalent channels, I won't really name them by name, but you know what they are. If you're looking for some wildlife or some animal content, when you turn those channels on, you don't see people who look like us hosting those shows. But here was an event full of melanated individuals, full of Black people celebrating our love for the outdoors and nature in only a way that we can do. And it was a big coming together party, and it was, as you said, it was much needed in times like this. So it was joyful, and it brought smiles to everyone's faces, and that's what we're intending to do here.
So everyone follow Black AF in STEM, and Black in Nature is another hashtag you can check to just see Black people outside in nature. Isn't that great? Other thing in the world. I think I posted some pictures of me at the farm with my chickens.
Which I still haven't visited yet. I need to get out there once everything, you know, kind of resembles some kind of normalcy. I need to get out there and check that farm out.
I have more. I feel bad about sending them, but I keep recording audio of the farm because we have so many birds this year. It's much more than usual, and we put in 10 bird feeders, and we spent a fortune on organic sunflower seeds and organic bird food. We don't want to feed the birds pesticides. And it's been such a blast to get to enjoy them and learn a few of their names. I'm so bad at this. I'm it's a finch, maybe, I think. It's yellow. It looks finchy.
It's hard. It's bird ID is really, really hard, right? You have these little tiny birds, and they're nonstop. They're moving nonstop, right? So it's really hard to identify them. Feel free to just throw audio clips and blurry photos my way. I will help you as best as I can.
So tell the people, what is your second favorite bird? Because I know you've told the story a lot. Favorite.
Yes, I appreciate that. I really do. But for those who don't know, I have to do it because I love this bird. My favorite bird is the peregrine falcon, fastest animal on earth, the best bird ever created, right? But if I were to pick a second favorite bird, it would probably be the loggerhead shrike.
Oh.
This is a bird it's a songbird, so it's a little deviation from my love of raptors, of birds of prey, right? Well, kind of, because when you think about it, this bird is commonly called the butcher bird. And it's called that because even though its not a raptor. It's not a bird of prey. So it doesn't have those strong talons that is used to grab and carry away its prey. It still hunts, and it catches lizards, catches large insects, and it catches small songbirds, and it impales them on barbed wire or thorns or whatever's nearby. And those thorns and that barbed wire can act as like a dinner plate, essentially, and hold its prey stable while it just rips and tears and has a nice little brunch out there in the pasture somewhere.
Wow.
It's a pleasant bird.
Your whole bird crew is in the comments here, like with competing thoughts on what are the best and second best birds. So we're here on Julia's Instagram. She gave me the keys to her social media for Juneteenth. And I invited my crew in to hang. So, and shout out to Instagram, because we actually put in a request today for them to, usually an Instagram live will just last an hour. They have to restart, but they gave us 4 hours uninterrupted. So thank you, Julia and Instagram, because trying to restart this was like past my technical capacity. So does Juneteenth mean anything to you? Is this something that you've celebrated before? Is this new to you? How do you feel about the fact that everyone's talking about it now?
You know what? Better late than never. I love it. I really, really love it. Juneteenth, I have celebrated Juneteenth before, absolutely, but this year just felt different, right? Juneteenth is a lot about just liberation and freedom, right? And I tend to always bring things back to birds, of course, and that's part of the reason why I fell in love with birds in the first place. So I grew up in the South Bronx, BX all day for everyone out there. I grew up in the South Bronx and in the poorest congressional district in the country. So being able to escape or explore outside of my immediate surroundings wasn't really something that I had the opportunity to do growing up. But birds have this ability to do it whenever they want. They have feathers, they have wings, they can pick up and fly and leave an undesirable situation in search for greener pastures, so to speak. And so that freedom, that liberation to be able to do that is one of the many reasons why I fell in love with birds. So this day, this holiday, this Juneteenth holiday, which should be a federal national holiday, is kind of double that feeling. So it's definitely a great day, and it is my Independence Day every single year. I don't know about that holiday that's coming in a couple of weeks. We're not going to do anything on that day, but Juneteenth, that's the day.
Nice. So what's next for Black AF in STEM? What are you working on?
Black AF in STEM is not going away anytime soon. We are evolving. We are so appreciative of all of the love that we've been receiving, and there's a lot more in the works. We aren't going away anytime soon. There's a lot more weeks that we will be. Hey guys, there's a lot more weeks that we will be planning on in the near future, and we're going to grow it as an organization. Yes, organization. We have a lot of steps to take it there, but we're going to get there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And for me personally, we may or may not have some future seasons in the works. That is a conversation that is ongoing. But other than that, everyone can find me at Jason Ward NY. And if you have a bird question, I'm here for you.
He will answer you on Twitter with bird identification questions. I heard you could just describe a bird song and he could probably tell you what it is.
Yep.
So take him up on that. He will legit help you identify birds.
And for everyone out there, if you don't have to travel somewhere exotic to enjoy birds and to appreciate birds, you can just step outside. It's as simple as that. Step outside, no matter where you are in the world, there are birds near you. And you don't need a fancy pair of binoculars or a big expensive camera. You need eyes, ears, and curiosity, and you can become a birder as well. It's therapeutic. Go out and listen to the birds.
Did I already ask you this? How can we support you?
There's a lot of ways. I think that one, of course, following Black AF and STEM and staying tuned to our updates and as our evolution as an organization, that's going to be pivotal. In addition to that, There's always Watching Birds of North America. That always helps. Yeah, and you know what? Supporting me, I think that supporting people who look like me in the spaces that we inhabit is supporting me as well. So providing or taking action when you see injustices happening, especially in the wildlife spaces. If you see, if you are a birder or if you're a herper, someone who enjoys reptiles and amphibians, right? And you see someone who is Black and they're curious and they want to know what everyone is looking at, invite them in, have that conversation, break that ice, and extend that hand, because it can seem really daunting sometimes to approach a group full of white people and ask them what they're looking at. So extend your hand, be the first person to make that move, and you'll be doing a good thing. So that's another way you can just support me and people who look like me.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to have more and more research come out about, that Black people don't feel comfortable in nature because they're alone, they're at risk, we get harassed. And so there's just lots of layers of the way that race influences where people go or where they don't go. It makes me really sad to think that Black people don't feel safe going hiking, because to me, being in the forest is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Nature has a PR problem. That is for sure. They are really good at promoting the gloriousness that is the outdoors, but they have a very direct and specific audience. And it's time to diversify that audience. And groups like Outdoor Afro, Latinx hikers are making waves. Black AF and STEM as well. How could I forget? Nature is for everyone. And we are changing the narrative.
Yeah, awesome. So I think this will be a different answer for you, but if racism didn't exist, what would you do with all the extra time you would have?
If racism didn't exist, I'd probably be, well, not probably, I would definitely be in a very high-ranking position in one of these very large conservation organizations. I'm not going to throw any names out there, but there has been some roadblocks here and there. And if racism didn't exist, I'd be in charge, making a lot of decisions at some of these organizations, because I care. I genuinely care. And and it took a while to get my foot in the door as far as just my overall journey and my upbringing. But and a lot of that was due to just systematic barriers. But if that didn't exist, I'd probably be there a long time ago, and I would probably also have a show on Discovery or Nat Geo or Animal Planet. Hey, if you're out there and you're listening, shoot your shot.
Get in the DMs if you want to give this guy a big budget TV show. It will be a blockbuster hit. We're like about to wrap up. What else do you want to tell people while we're here?
I want to shout out yourself, of course,
Thanks.
For being an amazing host. This was amazing. I appreciate you for inviting me on. I want to shout out all of the amazing guests that you've had on over the last, it's about 3.5 hours now. Shout out to
Bye. I was like, I'm going to have to pee 10 times. This is going to be a disaster. I'm going to get bored.
See? Amazing. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. You're like a superwoman.
Support.
Shout out to all of the Black birders and Black people who enjoy and appreciate wildlife in the outdoors.
Shout out. Hi, Jeffrey.
Exactly. And also shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx as well. BX.
I guess I have to shout out Brooklyn, where I was born and raised and am currently sitting. I want to talk to you about this environmental executive thing, because this is a wonderful thing to scheme about. In charge of environmental campaigns and decision making. So I'm getting a question, when am I going to do another one of these? I don't know. I've never done this before.
How did you enjoy it? How How would you describe it?
I just am always really excited to share my favorite people with the world. And so when Julia was like, here, take my Instagram, I was like, can I bring all my friends? And I was just thinking like one person, maybe two, and then all of a sudden I had 10, and then there were like 10 more I wanted to invite, and I was going to do it like a Friday night and a Saturday, but I'm like too tired.
Yeah.
I love hosting and moderating. I love asking questions, so I might do this again.
Please do. You're amazing at this.
Thanks, people in the comments. Thanks, Julia. Thanks, Instagram. Thanks to the team behind the scenes that made the cool graphics and videos to announce this. And if people want to support my work, thank you for asking. You can check out Urban Ocean Lab. It's in the comments in Julia's bio. Click to learn more about that. It's my think tank for the future of coastal cities. We're going to figure out like, what does the future look like in the context of climate change? We have, storms and heat waves and sea level rise and all this stuff, and we're just not ready. So I have built a team of super nerds, including Brian Lee, who was here earlier, to think through like, how do we envision and design the future that we want? And then how do we actually create the policy framework to get there? So check out Urban Ocean Lab and support all these folks who have come through. They're all linked in a previous post, so you can find them and follow them. Give them all your money. They'll put it to good use. What else should we say?
Be actionable, everyone out there. It's not enough to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist. Say something. If you see something, say something. And that's what I'm going to leave everyone with.
I was asked in the comments, what would I be doing if racism didn't exist? This is kind of like maybe a lame answer. I would still be working on climate. I would still care about the ocean. That's always been the core of what I do, but the ocean conservation and the climate crisis involve people. They affect people. And so I have always been drawn to justice. I've always really been like physically hurt by seeing injustice. And so if I didn't have to deal with that, if I had, the 50 hours in the last month that I spent on reading all of this stuff and processing it and writing this op-ed and all of this, I think I would like read more books. I have this huge pile of books that I just like am desperate to read, and I just want to like be able to not just read articles about horrible violence and Black people getting murdered. I want to read poetry. I want to read books. I would be spending way more time with my mother, helping out on the farm, in the garden. There's like all these vegetables I was supposed to help plant. And so, I would spend more time in nature and more time reading books. The simple things.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think that's it for now. Happy Juneteenth. And thanks again, Julia. And I'll do another post on her page to wrap this up. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being the best guest ever, always. Okay, bye everyone.